Ed Hanna, because we have some really serious weather moving through the area, Ed.
That's exactly right. We've got a tornado warning in effect for eastern Berks County. That's the next route. I don't know if we can get over to the first warn or not. I want to be able to, if we can't do that, I'm going to walk over here and actually zoom in. There we go. You got it. Exactly right. I want to be able to show you. That's the very latest image, but I want to be able to give you some sense here. You can see moving through central and southern Lehigh County. You want to seek shelter as that cell with the oranges and the reds there. In fact, I'm going to go up here just for a second. I want to be able to kind of show you what we're dealing with here. But it's these areas right here. In fact, I'm going to zoom in on this to give you a really good idea of where the center of that happens to be. There it is. You see these dark shades of red. That's advancing really towards the Emmaus area as we speak, between Allentown, Ancient Oaks, and Emmaus. And that's going to continue to advance off to the southeast here. But there is some rotation associated with that storm, and then we need to be aware of that. And you want to seek shelter here at least for the next 20 minutes, especially, again, those of you that happen to be in and around the Lehigh County area. It looks like it's going to be moving into the northern part of Bucks County here over the next hour or so. Another cell just in central Berks County that seems to be blossoming. Of course, there's that other cell back in York County. So be aware of that. Again, the tornado warning in effect for Lehigh County. Another cell there popping up in central Berks County. And we'll certainly give you another update here during our news. So stay with us. Lots going on. But you want to seek shelter, especially in Lehigh County, southern half.
Thanks for the update, Ed. The news at 6 starts in just a moment.
This portion of 69 News Berks Edition.
First at 6, hang on tight. A strong line of storms is sweeping across the region. Some of you watching this even have a tornado warning right now. Chief Meteorologist Ed Hanna is in for Kathy. He's in the Weather Center with the latest on these storms. Ed?
Thanks so much. Yeah, if you're in Lehigh County, you want to seek shelter. Tornado warning in effect. It actually was for eastern Berks County. If we can go in there, I want to be able to show you. Can we take that full? There you go. And what I want to do here is kind of take this so that you get some sense here of what we're dealing with. Again, it doesn't mean that there's a tornado on the ground. All it means is that this storm, pretty nasty and has a good amount of rotation with it. But I'm going to want to be able to zoom right in on this cell right here so that you'll get a good idea. There you can see it centered right now, smack dab on Allentown. Now, what I want to say is you're seeing oranges there. And again, we don't want to let our guard down, but just a few minutes ago, we saw dark shades of red there. Certainly, again, some rotation with that storm. That's not unusual at all, as they can ebb and flow, these storms. But you can get some sense here of what we're dealing with that cell. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of put that into motion so you can really see how that has advanced just over time and as we've moved through time. But you'll be able to see as this kind of starts dropping down and into the area, and you'll be able to see that the different colors as they're advancing. And the direction really from northwest to southeast, there are those dark shades of reds I was talking about, and that's where we were most concerned. I think the tornado warning was for good reason. But you now watch as we go through just the last couple of images. You can see it kind of goes from red to just dark. The last image was just lighter shades of orange. So that's what we're dealing with right now, especially if you're in the southern part of Lehigh County. And I think it's going to be moving down towards and into Bucks County here. But the good news is at least that cell has eased a bit, but we don't want to let our guard down. You still want to seek shelter in the southern parts of Lehigh County. And we'll keep you posted here, give you an update as far as Bucks County, whether or not that storm starts to intensify once again. 2-inch size hail in New Tripoli reported just in the last half hour. So lots of hail, some strong gusty winds, and of course, heavy downpours. So southern Lehigh County again till 6:15, tornado warning in effect. More details coming up.
All right, Ed, thanks very much for that update. We have some video we can show you just into our studios here at 69 News. Hail coming down. In fact, this is just outside of where we are on South Mountain in the Allentown area, Salisbury Township, Lehigh County. Rain coming down hard, as Ed has mentioned. He mentioned the oranges and the reds. We've had some strong storms up here and some hail. Some smallish, even some dime-sized hail reported around the area. Ed has mentioned some parts of the viewing area with larger hail than that. So do be careful out there if you are venturing out, and heed the warnings that Ed was talking about tonight. He'll be back with more information on the weather in just a bit. And other news at 6, don't drink the water. At least for a lot of people in the area tonight, the way the weather has been transpiring this afternoon. Ed's been keeping us apprised of what's going on. He has the very latest in the Weather Center.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we've got as an overall kind of umbrella, severe thunderstorm watch till 10 o'clock. And I think that was for good reason. But just in the short term here, we've had a couple of cells that just blossomed in Berks and Lehigh County. I mean, a nasty cell. There was some rotation with it, and it didn't mean that there was a tornado on the ground, but there was 2-inch hail. I mean, when anytime you have a thunderstorm rotating, it can spawn a tornado pretty quickly, and that's why we wanted to kind of get that warning out. And I still don't want to completely let our guard down, but you guys, these cells have weakened a bit. Again, don't let your guard down because they can intensify once again. We're seeing it now moving, really starting to make its way through the southern part of the Lehigh County. I am a tiny bit just keeping an eye, you guys, up in the Northampton County. One little cell kind of splitting up and going in a different direction, so we got to keep an eye on that. You know, one thing you never want to do is kind of be so focused in meteorology when you've got a situation like this. You can be so focused on a couple of cells and then kind of off on its own, another little cell kind of going in a different direction. So I'm keeping an eye on that guy there. Just be aware of that, Northampton County. Keep an eye on the sky there, and if it looks like that's going to intensify, I want you to be aware of that. But other than that, the main line itself sliding. So Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, you guys, this is advancing, but you can see there's a couple of cells, so it's not a solid wall of severe thunderstorms. Right now, I'd call it moderate to severe thunderstorms. That's advancing south and southeast. Behind it, there's not a whole lot going on, and so I think once this slides through our area, things are going to quiet down a bit, but I still definitely want to allow for a shower or a thunderstorm around, and maybe till like 9 o'clock for you guys south and east of Philadelphia, maybe 10 o'clock, but we'll certainly be giving you updates on the AccuWeather channel. So let's get off to it and show you again that tornado warning now expired for Berks and Lehigh County, and we're going to have to watch to see what happens here if some warnings are issued for Bucks, Montgomery, Chester. Lancaster County, I know that's just across our viewing area, but the cell there in Lancaster County, especially southern Lancaster, they are going to get smacked. Really nasty cell that's advancing right now into the southern parts of Lancaster County. Temperatures throughout the area, again, have cooled dramatically from the daytime high. I told you we'd see that heat and humidity build in, and this is what happens when you've got cooler, drier air advancing. The air behind this, you're going to notice it this weekend. It's going to be real comfortable with a pleasant breeze, but when you got cool, dry air moving in to warm, humid air, it forces it aloft like a wedge, and you start to see some of this blossoming. And look at those cells you can see here. Another look at it. Take a look just in the last couple of hours, and you'll really get a sense. Again, it doesn't look like it's all that impressive, but here you can see that cell now moving into the northern part of Bucks County, back on, just departing southern parts of Berks. That's going to slide into northern Chester and Montgomery County, and this is that cell here back towards Lancaster County and in York County, and that's going to slide to the south. Again, that's a pretty potent storm as well. As far as the front itself, it'll continue to advance. There's a real pretty good westerly wind, not just here at the surface, but especially aloft. That's going to push this along pretty quickly. So that is good news, and it sets the stage for what should be a pretty good weekend. 54 degrees. Again, look out. So a couple showers, a couple of very strong gusty thunderstorms, possibly severe. And that's, something, and that's why I'm so glad you all were tuned here so that we could bring you up to date just with the freshest information almost as instantly as it was issued. 70 degrees, your daytime high after the showers and thunderstorms move away. And again, I think by 9 o'clock this evening, even could be 8 for the north and western parts of our area. They're moving away, but we just got to make sure nothing else develops on behind it. It's going to be a real nice air mass moving in behind it. I think you're going to like the weekend an awful lot. Monday starts nice, but there could be a late day shower or thunderstorm. Tuesday, couple showers or a thunderstorm. Wednesday, a couple of showers still possible before things dry out later on Thursday. We'll be giving you updates on the AccuWeather channel through the evening, watching these storms as they move away. And then, of course, 10 o'clock, our news. So tune in for that, okay?
All right.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Ed. Sports is next.